Voting day in Merrimack is like a well-oiled machine. For voters, you check in, vote, feed your ballot to the box, and then you can leave. But holding an election is a lot of work and requires a lot of preparation too, which starts with the town clerk's office.
The town clerk's role is to verify the ballots that have been received, to test the machines, to provide and make sure that all of the equipment and all of the materials necessary for the election are in place.
For state elections, the town receives the ballots used on Election Day from the Secretary of State's office, which are then checked by volunteers.
What happens is when the ballots are delivered to the town clerk, they need to be opened and examined to make sure, A, they're the correct ballots for the city or town ward. And the second thing that we have to do is we have to do a physical count on the ballots to determine how many ballots are being taken to the polls and used on Election Day.
These pre-election counts are for good reason, too. They provide a number to compare against later.
It's extremely important to know your starting inventory number so that you can account for every ballot at the election. What a lot of people may not know is when the polls close after voting has ended, we have to recount all of the ballots again to ensure that the ending number is what we started with.
After all of the ballots are counted, the boxes are taped shut and sealed with a label. Of course, ballots aren't only counted by hand. You're probably used to putting your ballot in a machine on voting day, and those have a ton of different safeguards and checks, too, like locks and different forms of seals to ensure the boxes and machines weren't touched outside of the pre-election tests. When these seals are broken, it's logged by the clerk and witnesses.
There is no connectivity to the internet, and there are no opportunities for anyone to connect anything to the particular voting machines that we use here in New Hampshire. All of the ports and access locations have been removed and or blocked from the machine, so there's absolutely no ability to connect anything to these voting machines.
There's also the process of testing the machines themselves. The ballots used are all clearly marked test, so there's no chance of them being mistaken for a real ballot. And they're each run through the machines multiple times by staff and volunteers to ensure the machines can count the ballots in different configurations without issue.
We always run them face up, head first, then we turn them around, we run them feet first, then we flip them upside down and run them head first, and then we run them feet first.
The boxes are pretty skilled at sorting, too. One cool feature is that they can detect whether or not a voter wrote in a candidate, and separates them into a different pile so the write-in can be read and hand-counted. Despite that seemingly adding another layer of complexity, that's what these tests are for.
We have never had an issue with the machines miscounting. We've never had, all of our tests that we do have always been spot on with the machines, so the programming is very accurate.
Once a machine has finished their count without issue, the results are printed, and officials get it ready for the big day.
Everything matched as we anticipated. We've gone through the process of putting the machine in election mode, and now we need to seal and secure the machine until Election Day.
After logging that everything is resealed, it's off to the vault until it's time to vote. So next time you're at the polls, take a minute to think about all the hard work that goes into making Merrimack's elections run as smooth as they do, and thank your neighbors and the town clerk's office for helping to make it happen. Thanks for watching.